Now then, we will try to get this to actually work. Well, before the final, the almost final one, to be completely fair and honest with you, I'll give it precisely 2 more tries. Playing games is fun when it actually ends up being playing games. Not so much when you're sitting there for an hour and nothing happens. Not know why. Also the fact that I'm, it just on it for an hour. Highlights rather nasty, just how fucking late I am. Desolate. Regrets. Regrets are many. Regrets are everywhere. At least this one knows. Okay. Anno, please, don't be a bitch. I have believed in you. I have believed in you so much, and you still refuse to fucking work. Day. Not my day at all. Okay. Now you enjoy some nice music. Oh, hello there, by the way. And while you do this, I will give Anno another try to start, because Anno has refused. Wrong screen. Go back to the right screen. Bad thing. You go away. Okay. One more try. And I'll please start now. The big of you. Been trying this for a while. First, the fucking Ubisoft Connect thing doesn't want to update. Which is probably my internet, to be fair. Then press the Anno button. The Anno game does not start. That is annoying. That's annoying as fuck. But I can already say I'm without patience. It has reduced my actual playtime to an unbelievably short amount. But oh well, what can you do? I can't really change that. Oh, I can see mouse cursor. That's new. Come on, game. You worked so fine until just recently. No reason to fuck it up right now. Dreams. Okay. Okay, this is the fastest we have been. We can see a warning. Right before playing, you could get an epileptic seizure, partly. Okay. There was a bit of a hiccup. Maybe at some point the game will actually do its thing. Come on, game. You can actually show you. I don't think you can see anything. Is it just me, or is everything just deciding to lag? For fuck's sake, game. What are you doing to my PC? Oh, it's actually loading. The window is loading. See, now you can see what I'm seeing. Which is, to be fair, the fastest I have been so far. Because this fucking game refuses to fucking load for like fucking an hour now. Which, considering the amount of nonsense I am suffering already, to get me into quite the animated mood, I kinda wanna kick the fucking developer. Fucking Ubisoft. How can you fuck this up? Come on, game. I've seen this screen. I've read it, surprisingly enough. And I can tell you, I would very much like to see another one. Which I can't if this fucking thing doesn't fucking load. Okay, let's actually try to opening the Ubisoft Connect thing manually again. Hopefully it doesn't want to upgrade. Upgrade? Yeah, please upgrade it. Update again. Such a pain. All I wanted to do is, come home a bit later than usual, play some Anno, get to bed, survive Friday, then play some more. Alas, not even those small dreams seem to be holding on much. True professionalism. What is the sign of true professionalism? Well, technical difficulties apparently. Okay. Let me find the fucking Anno window. Let me close it again. Fuck you, Anno. That's fun. Okay, I'm in the launcher, I'm connected and everything, so if I push the play button, will you actually start this time? You know, at this point I would be very, very, very grateful. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. Ah, I don't understand game. See, this is what I mean. You get a small thing to update itself automatically, and it fucks with everything else. Now it fucks with the game itself, and that is really unforgivable. I've read it, have understood. Very nice. Oh. Oh. Something is happening. Something is happening. Okay. This is good. Why is there no sound? Okay. One problem solved. Many more problems to come. You should. Oh, now it makes sounds. Why is there no background sound? What the fuck is going on? I'm not even going to question it actually. If the game just refuses to make sound, I will play my own sounds. You know what that is. Just about it took forever in the day to load. Okay, let me re-explain why we are at this hour of all hours. You see, I was home late. That is not unusual. It is a busy season. So I was like, okay, let's sit down, let's prepare. It was like around, you know, an hour or so ago. Then I was like, okay, let's start the little Anno thing directly. I was like, okay, let's load something even more. Then the fucking Ubisoft, whatever the fuck, Connect Fingers, whatever it's called, was like, yeah, I need an update. I was like, okay, that's like 70 Mbits. That's not bad. I can do this in time. It probably give me enough time to, you know, go over to the kitchen, get myself a nice cup of coffee and come back. At which point it was finished, and it showed me a black screen. I was like, okay, that's not good. I waited a bit, set everything else up, waited a bit more, closed the window, started Anno again, another black screen, watched it for a while, closed it again. I repeated those steps quite a few times, with some variation in between. I did a few different things here and there. But then finally I got to the point where I was like, yay, now you can read an epileptic seizure warning. That's great. All in all, it took, at the very least, an hour to get this to run. Jesus fucking Christ. So yeah, we are kinda in for a very, very short experience here. I do apologize in beforehand. Part of it is definitely my fault for being bad at time management. Or well, knowing when to stop doing work and start playing games. Basically. That can't really be helped that much. Sadly enough. On the other side of the argument, losing a whole another hour of good playtime actually to a fucking game-specific technical difficulty is fucking annoying. Just to be sure, I actually tried launching a few other games and, well, surprisingly enough, they just loaded. Take a random clicked on one of the RPG Maker thingies that's sitting somewhere in some bloody folder that I just, you know, stumbled upon and was like, oh, what's that? Click it, new game, okay, loads, works. Also tried, you know, a few more texting games and they worked too. And if that wasn't bad enough, now we're sitting here for like 5 minutes having to watch the loading screen again. Again. I mean, you know, it's not like Anno gives you much of a time-restrained goal that you have to achieve. I guess even if we're in the world, it's not like we have any pressing matter and we can save whenever. But the amount of lost playtime is... that's getting to me, honestly. Under normal circumstances, I would probably take it with a laugh and be like, huh, yeah, let's try for a record here. Shortest stream ever. Which would actually be the shortest stream? Oh yeah, that would actually be a... I don't know if that actually still exists, but technically speaking, the shortest stream to ever have happened on this particular channel would be a 23-second connection test. Okay, let's not try to be that short, shall we? Game is very slowly loading in some grass. I will assume that we can now at least play. Okay. I had no clear-cut goal in this particular case. As for why we're playing because we can, basically, and because this game is without any strings attached. See, that's its one advantage. Ah, you're lagging like a bitch. Shouldn't those arrows be green? Many things are not happening like they're supposed to. Okay, make it mental note. First things first, I'm going to restart my PC after this nonsense is over and just hope that that will fix everything. Yes, sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Okay, what are we going to do then? Yes, good question. Myself, a very good question actually. We shall build up a little Crown Falls a bit more. It is a nice little town, but it needs to be bigger, and as such it shall grow. Shut up. It shall grow out a bit more in this particular direction and in this particular direction. Now down here we have a bit more space, as you can see. Up there not so much, so we'll finish this part first. The basic idea is to build up a nice, even bigger sized city block, basically. And once we have finished that, we shall, well, be happy that we just got to play. Bloody Anno game. Trying to not work on me. It's not very nice. Now how are we gonna do this while keeping the same thing going? I think I've actually made it a bit difficult. Yeah. Language is difficult apparently. More difficult for myself because I have actually one city block that is 5 long, while the others are 4 long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I did that. Why I did that I don't even know, but I did that, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to look nice. I kind of figured that would be in the way. Unless one can do not but wonder why I have created such wonders of technology. Well, not even I know, mind you. So that mystery shall stay a mystery forever. Well, no. Let's look on the bright side of things. I'm just very happy that I can actually play some Anno now because Jesus Christ. Never had any difficulty. No, that's actually a lie. I had once in the very beginning difficulties getting this fucking game to just fucking do its job. Never after though. I was kind of surprised actually. For once it did actually throw me for quite a bit of a nasty little surprise. Well, all things aside. Welcome once again to this nice little, probably relatively short stream of Anno, considering the time of day and considering the fact that I had planned to start playing like, oh god, no, I'm never gonna let the game live this down. Shall suffer for its impunity. Yes, shall suffer very much so. Now, up here we are running smack dab into a bit of a problem. It's called the cliff face. A nasty sort of problem. Mostly because we don't have any option to flatten the land. It's actually something I would like to do, you know, just order some of my, you know, 1,000 farmers to pick up little, I don't know, pickaxes or something and start making things flat. Shouldn't, you know, take longer than a few years of hard labor. Of course, at this point you can practically call them workers and not just, you know, farmers. That's not a light, isn't it? That's gonna be a fun one, I can already tell, because things are going splendidly. What does my little eye spot there? I see a bot. Where are you? You are on the YouTube side of things, of course. And of course I have not... Yeah, of course I haven't put my fucking window anywhere I can actually reach it. No, of course not. Yes. Be blessed, little bot, for your life shall be spared. A moment longer, that is. You will die a horrible death soon enough. But that time is not yet. Now, of course, as is always good and proper, when I start building things up, it usually tends to backfire somewhat, because more people eat more resources. Yes, yes. And now it's a simple logic there, you know. You give people fish. Once there are more people, more fish is required to keep them fed. I get it. I really would like to have an option to just give them, you know, half rations and be done with it for the moment, but I somewhat feel that people might be somewhat dissatisfied with that option.
The people celebrate your leadership.
I mean, you might not believe it, considering that the nice little narrator is going like, your people are celebrating you here, there, and everywhere. I do generally try to keep my people somewhat happy. Yes, somewhat. I'm not saying I'm doing a good job of it, mind you. At least not all the time. Okay, what the fuck? Why does this work out so much better than up here? What's the difference? I mean, it should be somewhat identical. Am I just blind? Ah, no, not even that. I was like, I have no street here. Don't know, I have a street here. But you should build this up somewhat resembling each other. Basically like a mirror city. Where, you know, from the main part on you can go in either direction and you will see the same city. Which is a kind of nice concept, mind you. This is going to urge me somewhat fiercely, isn't it? Yes, it will, it will. Anas, complaints will not help me. A little confused though. I mean, am I just not seeing it? Am I really just not seeing it? Where is... I mean, I never was good at, you know, these whole spot the difference sort of riddle thing, but... wait a second, I think I see it. Yes, I see it. There should be a road, shouldn't there be? Oh, for fuck's sake. That explains my problem. Because if there was a road here, like, this little bulge wouldn't exist and we could build a little house here. Okay, we need to correct it. Sorry people, things need to be remade. I mean, you know, I could just let it sit there and let it fester, but somewhere like 20 episodes down the line I would be sitting here and going like, what the fuck? Why? Let's not get it, let it get to that point, because it might induce a certain state of insanity. Okay, I think I have corrected the issue. Yes, I think I have. Oh, bloody hell, yes. A small victory has been won this day. Very small victory, mind you, but a victory nonetheless. Ah, and now we end up with the next problem, eh? Oh boy. Yeah, the city block actually exists a bit farther up, doesn't it? Can't really correct that though. Basically the fault of the building. I mean, I could potentially correct this. No, I cannot. Oh, this is irksome. Well, I guess I can put this down as natural Gross question mark? Like in, you know, how most European cities have changed their layout over time, but it usually ends up being quite a mess. Actually, some of the older cities are really nice for that. What would be a good example? I think Prague would be a good example. That's one fucking hell of a mess, I can tell you that much. All they say beggars can't be choosers. Of course, that is going to, you know, continuously go down with one out for all eternity, quite literally. Well then, while we're doing this, you might be wondering yourself, why is this bloody war start so freaking late today? Apart from the technical difficulties that I just described. Basically still the same nonsense as has been going on the whole time. Texas, 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 which quite literally just means somebody going like, can you please give us this? Can you please give us that? And oh yeah, can you maybe be a bit more precise on this? This does not tell me what precisely has been bought, sold, or otherwise changed hands for money. Which I can only answer with yes, Massa, of course. I will immediately do it, even if it costs me the last bit of my sanity. Which is to say, fun for the whole family. Nothing you really want to do. Okay, so how many city blocks did I realistically build? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So now comes the 5 block, and then comes the 4 block. So this. It's like this. Yep. Ungodly mess is part of the building process, I suppose. Of course, this S-load of more people will tax my resources somewhat fierce. I am assuming that ground walls will, relatively short order, run out of everything. Which is what we are somewhat forcing, to be fair. Actually, we have for once run out of wood. This actually was not one of the resources I had in mind of running out immediately, but
All hands at the ready.
to be fair, I guess it always was a bit of an option. But that means we should just very barely reach it. Now next we would have to need to set up another marketplace down here, because otherwise we can't build this. And then, well, I guess the next step would be to build into the upper lands, maybe. Well, I guess I could just follow this line here and build another marketplace somewhere here and expand around that a bit, and do the same thing here. It would run into the river.
Bold new expedition.
But I guess since I can efficiently not do anything about natural obstructions, excuse me, I guess at least that is one thing we will have to accept. Even if it does irk us somewhat. Can't do shit about it. I fucked this up, did I? Yes, I did. Yeah, no. I mean, if it's because I can't do anything about it, well, yes, I will be accepting of that. If it's because, you know, something I did and I can correct it, then I will. Seems only fair. Even as I speak the words. Not this... Okay, game, now you're just fucking with me. At least that or my hands have suddenly become as shaky as a fucking alcoholics. When I wasn't working. Which just reminded me that I do feel like fucking drinking something. Right about now, a drink would be most pleasant. And I think I will actually indulge myself. One before we go to bed. Yes, yes. That shall be the one saving grace of this particular nonsense. Go away.
The people celebrate your leadership.
Okay, so how is this side set up? Okay. Time for copy pasting. Most profoundly. Now there's supposed to be a little pep. Like this. And there's supposed to be a forward station. A police station, which is going to make it even worse of a shift. Now it's 2 and not 1. And that is a school. Gets even worse. Then again, we might be able to correct this if I make a nice line here. Basically create a bit of a plaza space where we can put some things. I have decided to build things like this though. I wonder. Probably could have made it a bit more efficient if I put those two just down here. Probably even be... I want to change. Nah, actually, I kind of want to keep this side the same. Of course, the shift will grow ever worse the farther out we go, but I don't think we will actually go farther out. If we build 4, then the 5th one, I think we will not even be able to finish this area off, house-wise. So I don't think we will have much in the way of problems. He said. And then he was proven wrong. Literally. We are, however, still making money, so our efforts from last episode are well rewarded, I'd say. We're making like 3,000 a tick. That is more than okay. Also, our population grows. Nice and tenderly. When do we get the next bonus? At 46,000. Actually, once we finish building this all up, we might actually be able to see that bonus. We gotta do the other way. You have to be a good bit more precise, considering the amount of building projects I have. But generally speaking, I'm not against advice. So if you have some, do speak. Feel free. Little pirate hat. A pirate hat. I don't have one of those in my collection. But don't worry, I will be looking at this for quite a while, because, you know, I need to build up a lot of houses. So if you have a correction in mind. More efficient. Are you talking about something in here? You need, as I said, to eat.
Here's a sort of cake right out when first starting out.
No, don't care.
Bite off the hand that feeds you.
The hand that feeds me. Ah, bitch, please, I have like fucking 5 million in my bank account. Must just from sitting around doing nothing. The roads, you mean? I still don't see it. Maybe I'm just blind. I mean, you know, I wouldn't put it behind me. I'm also somewhat tired, to be fair. But I can't seem to grasp the concept right now.
Admiral! Admiral!
Yeah, for fuck's sake, you really are an annoying little bastard, aren't you? What's wrong with my expeditions? I'm pretty sure I sent him out to do some nonsense.
Sickening.
Sickening, you say? Yeah, he's most definitely sick. Blue flowers. Do we... Oh, yeah, we can just ask the locals, I guess. And your flower is seeing visions. Well, that's great. The locals are up there on lucid dreaming to help your expedition through it. Aha. Okay, so we all had a nice little trip on flowers. That's neat. Not very good on journeying, but well, alas. What can you say?
The mark of
He
dread.
always looks so happy to see me. He's like, hey! Call of the Devil. I was taken several days, so journey inland. Usually in particular with cloudburst. Children's voices. Find a more rational explanation. That sounds reasonable. Here inside the rest decision. Great. That cost you some moral.
Plain sailing.
Yes, let's ignore the devil. Well, we ignored the devil. We got some more wood. No. While we wait for more wood to be generated, I mean, I guess I could try to get some in, but it's not. Let's actually take a nice look at what my resources are telling me. They're telling me that schnapps is once again a problem. It's always schnapps, isn't it? Well, not surprising. Problem is we can't really do much about that for the moment. To produce more schnapps, I think we would actually need also wood. And I mean, you know, potatoes to be fair, but do I want to stretch this out a bit back? Probably not actually a bad idea, now that I think about it. Okay. New little lifeline has been built, and actually, you know what? Why don't we just go into this giant back area here? Yeah. Something like this, and start building ourselves. Well, I guess more potatoes. Not that I have anything against potatoes, mind you. Potatoes are something of a German favorite, aren't they? At least according to statistical data to that particular good stuff. We are producing an airload. We're eating an airload. Now then. Yes, I know. I'm gonna complain that you don't have a warehouse. I give you a warehouse. I'm not a monster. I don't expect you to run all the way back to the main city to deliver your wares. Actually, that would be fun to set that up, just to see the road completely choke full and blocked off with carts. Okay, we have 3 more potato farms, which means I guess it's time for 3 more distilleries. And let's place them a bit away, just in case one of them suddenly decides to explode.
People celebrate your leadership.
They have a tendency to do that, sometimes. Now, 3 more should probably not even be enough to compensate the amount of schnapps we are consuming right now. I haven't even finished and I'm already consuming more schnapps than I can produce easily. Well, I'm pretty sure we're producing an assload of fish at this point, and it's still not enough. Question is, have I actually built this smartly enough that I can actually... Yes, I can build a road here. Wonderful, like, okay, that's gonna be a pain in the ass to redo this.
Your leadership.
The people are really dumb, aren't they? Like, let's celebrate later. Okay, that was also dumb. Stupid, thy name is... Partly my name.
I see another biscuit.
They too look somewhat dumb. Probably not a bad. Can I actually I can expand my circles in other directions if I want to. No. Okay. It's 4 more of that. That should potentially actually take care of the fish, because the fish is actually not going down that fast. I think actually I will have to enhance my little schnapps corner up here a bit more. Sadly enough. Because, you know, people can eat a surprisingly small amount of fish a day, but they absolutely need to drink an absurd amount of schnapps. Otherwise, I guess life is not worth it for those poor suckers. I mean, I somewhat get it. Life's hard. I mean, how hard can life be in the fucking paradise I built them? But you know how people are. Never happy, never pleased. Which does kind of require us to make sure they don't, you know, stay thirsty for too long. 1, 2, 3, and that's 1, 2, 3, 2. So 3 more distilleries on the go. 1, 2, 3. Let's put another warehouse in there. Okay, that's 6 more distilleries.
I hope you don't disapprove of gift giving.
Absolutely not. 24,000 coins, I'll take it. Okay, that should take care. I mean, everything else should be okay, because the other resources are not really getting taxed by your average farmers. I should probably upgrade those, because otherwise things are gonna get a bit overly much busy for them. Okay, we have reduced the amount of decrease in schnapps. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a start. It does take the game an awfully long time to get the idea that suddenly more goods are flowing in, so account for that, please. Because I'm not gonna do the accounting for this. No, no, no. Absolutely not. Even if you can, and you can, obviously, you just need to account for actually, you know, production times, plus transportation times, plus delivery time, and that is actually the amount of time it takes one resource to get refined and put into store. So far, not that difficult, in theory, but it's a pain. It is a pain in the ass. Just like precisely efficient building. It is a pain. It is a true pain in the ass. You need to be upgraded too, because you will probably... I mean, I can't really do much more here, apart from maybe one more little fishy thing. Yeah, I kind of figured I couldn't put more in here. Okay, so this beach is actually choke full, so the other beach is round about here, and oh, look at this, actually I have something built up there. Oh yeah, that's my brick production, isn't it? And of course, not only is this my brick production, but it's also part of the schnapps production, because there's schnapps production everywhere at this point. We're quite literally producing schnapps on multiple corners on the fucking island. For no other reason than that we quite literally cannot help it. The people are just that thirsty. And I now shall deliberately not look even the smallest bit at the clock, because otherwise I'm gonna get probably the desire to strangle whoever has decided that fucking Ubisoft Connect needs to be a thing. It's an annoying little thing. Also, I don't know why that fucking... It fucked things up so much. I mean, it shouldn't really have much of an effect on fucking Anno, especially not on its fucking startup. I don't fucking know. I don't even... I quite literally don't even. Okay. We reduced the number at least to only -2 decreasing. And -2 decreasing, which is all nice and dandy. It still means we will need more.
Conduct is exemplary.
I know. Remembering my promises to the good people of the internet and coming on despite the late hour, I know that my conduct can only be described as exemplary. But still, I would still prefer to do it, you know, just normal. Just normal is good. You don't always need the absolute excessive nonsense. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to click on you. I wanted to give you a nice little order. One more for good measure. That should absolutely take care of our potato production.
It's all prepared.
Okay, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, let's edit it a bit.
Of course, you know
Is
what
this glutton you? Repent your breach. St. Peter's pearly gates are not as wide as you imagine. Basically, if you're so fat you can't fit through.
I feel cheap. The burden of shame.
For a second I was like thinking she said, I feel cheap, as in, you know, cheap. Like what? Woman? What is going on with you?
you gained an influence bonus.
Care to explain yourself? Okay, at least let it be said that we try to make things look nice. That was not what I wanted to do again. I wanted to get rid of it. Now we should be start seeing an increase in potatoes again. And we should also see... I mean, we have managed to get the schnapps back into the net plus. Potatoes should be on the way too, because we built like 4 or 5 more of them. That should be good. Back to the project. The project we're building up massive amounts of nonsense. Which of course then in turn are going to eat even more fish, even more things. And I think next on the list of problems that we will be having is of course going to be our old favorite. Oh, look at that. So the Lassie Games. And what is he doing? He's ready. Oh, hello there. Oh, becoming quite the active one again, haven't you? Welcome, welcome indeed. That is the world famous Lassie face. Ah, how such a pleasant little surprise, isn't it? When it pops up. Well then, how are you, my friend? Feeling good? This fine evening, although to be fair, it is a rather fine night at this point in time for me. I have lost too much time. Yeah, I know that feeling. We actually have, as I like to call it, the season of taxation is upon us. Which means, as a small business owner, I get somewhat horribly beaten up in a back alley and still need to nod my head very politely and go like, yes, yes, Masa, very much so. It's always such a fun time, let's just say. Also part of the reason why I'm kinda, you know, late. Physically speaking, not bad. Mentally speaking, I'm feeling somewhat tired, to be very fair. Just also why I think today will be a relatively short one. Well, I know. Even if it weren't that late, because I'm actually somewhat tired by this nonsense. But that's the price you have to pay, kinda. Well. Actually, everything seems to be okay. I guess I could build a bit more in the way of work closing, because that's going to be... That's gonna be a problem again. Soon. I can see my people. I don't know how they manage it. I mean, you would assume that work closing is somewhat sturdy, by the definition of it being work closing. How my people manage to waste so much of it is beyond me, but I guess a few thousand people would require a few. And again, you know, I have some doubt. I haven't played it in a while. Anno games are great. They're great when you don't have anything planned out and you just want to play a nice relaxed game that doesn't put you under any sort of really high pressure. I mean, look at this. I could quite literally wait until resources run out and the only thing I'm going to lose is, what, a few people for a short moment? Yeah. Does help quite a bit, I'd say. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was trying to predict the future, as in predict that there's gonna be need for more work closing. Yes. I knew I was doing something. I mean, I guess I could stop making sales for a moment to increase the sheer production of good old-fashioned wool to make it into work clothing, but... What did I do there? Just... How did I even manage that? Even I don't know. Okay, first things first. You two need to disappear. I also did kinda play at some point the old one, the, what was it? The Anno 1602 was the oldest one? My memory for names is, as always, great and absolutely intact and working as intended. As God has decided it should work. Somewhat. Yeah. That's cool. That's because, you know, it has a lot of classical music in it. It does have a nice collection, it actually gets away with it. Now, if you try to play the same set music, you know, on its own, you're probably gonna get into trouble. Funnily enough. But play it along with Anno and suddenly everything is okay. Well, almost okay. They did kind of change things. Ah, another one. Hello there, little strategy member. Indeed, it is Anno. Why are all of you people awake? That's... Well, I guess that's the magic of different time zones, I suppose. But yes, it is indeed an Anno title. This is even the newest Anno title. It is 1800. It's actually kind of fun. I mean, at first I was kind of skeptical. I was like, meh. After the whole sci-fi nonsense age, right? Which was okay-ish. Not really my cup. But then...
An explosion in one of your factories.
Okay. Where? Oh, at the fucking nowhere land. Suddenly explosion. And I see the Lassie faces up to his own. It is actually not a bad idea. Anno 1800 is a nice game. It is fun. I'm actually technically speaking playing the campaign, but you know it's an Anno game, so the campaign is kinda it's just like a free Anno game with the added benefit they're telling you the basics, and then they're like, okay, and now follow this quest line for like the next 100 hours or so. Which you can do or can't do, depending very much on your mood. I'm not forcing you, mind you. Yeah, this was what I wanted to finish. The olden one, eh? 1602. Not a bad choice. Although once you actually get used to the newer ones, you will kinda miss a few comfort things that came along. Like, you know, blueprint mode. Like, you know, just very nice city and road planning style kind of things. Ah, I missed it. Always happens to me when I go back to the old ones. Even if you go back to like 7002 or something, you will absolutely hate it for a moment, going like, pain. Pain. Also, to be fair, this one actually looks pretty damn nice. I mean, you know. Actually, one of those games where the up-in graphics actually does kinda, you know, make things look nicer. Of course, they are enjoyable. I'm not going to even deny that. Played an S-lot of hours on those already. Probably will a lot more over the years to come. Lost in the desert. How my sailors get lost in the desert is always surprising. The map of these endless dunes is a spindle. The first officer turns to berate the guide for whom they were purchased, but the fellow's already gone, as if the sandsets followed him up. A solitary well offers a slight dribble of consolation, but your man must otherwise come to terms with being rather lost. Okay, first things first. Sailors can navigate by the stars. So technically speaking, if they have their tools with them, they should be able to navigate in the desert. Well, yeah, let's not argue with logic here. They're on an expedition. Who knows where they are? They could be all the way back in the Orient from Anno 1702 or so. You know. We don't know. We are just going to believe them in this particular nonsense. Yeah, do it. Navigate by the stars. You're fucking sailors. At least your navigator should have learned that.
What's on land is for landfolk.
Clear desert nights are perfect for astronomers. Beneath a black cloak, lucid with the constellations, your expert navigators rule the remainder in mankind's relation to the heavenly bodies. There's a moment of realization for many. Enlightened, the crew returned to the ship, filled with the wonder of the desert, their place in the universe. Okay, you don't need to make it all esoteric. It's like, okay, listen. Here's my tool. Here's my little map. Now, we drew on it. Now we know where we are, relatively speaking. And now we know where we're going, relatively speaking. It's not a precise science. It doesn't need to be. But yeah, apparently my poor little sailors now have been preached about the wonders of understanding that stars are long and far away. Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure most sailors will react like, you know, a car would react when you put it on a railway track. Like, what the fuck is this? Why is it there? And what is it supposed to be? Also, can I eat it? It's probably also a very important question in this particular nonsense. Now then, my people.
Every field has its weeds.
You seem to be somewhat happy, apart from the fact that you have no up yet. That's a problem we will solve in but a minute, actually. Actually. Ah, sailors in the Orient. I remember the Orient. The Orient was fun.
Set our bearings right.
We already read this game. Don't make me repeat it. What about the other one? That was not the other one. This is the other one. Ah, found it. The storm. Dum dum dum. This tempest is beyond anything you have ever faced. The smell of salt is everywhere. The freezing water pierces everyone. The wind and waves your ship with impossible violence, making the vessel groan and tremble with each new strike. The air is so full of sea spray, one could drown in it. Anything mere humans can do in the face of such godlike wrath. But you can pray to Poseidon, maybe he's willing to, you know, calm his anger or something. Was pretty damn popular for a while. Oh, we can actually pray. that was actually meant to be a joke, and I was reading pray. Yes, frenzied measured for frenzied times. Open all sails and ride the storm. That is fucking dangerous. Because, you know, in order to open all the sails, some poor idiot has to actually climb up and open them. Considering that everything is wet and you can probably see, well, shit. All. Like nothing. That is farther away than your hands. That gonna end somewhat bad. Move as wasteful as it was risky. Meek doesn't even begin to describe your sailor's approach. Yeah, no kidding. If I were given this order, I would actually consider a mutiny outright and be like, no. As I do. Most of my boats actually do have a dual way of powering themselves. They have sails, but they also have little engines on them. Actually, I can show you. Since this hasn't worked out, yeah, sure. Fill the bottom and make sure everything stays where it is.
Spirits.
Yeah, let me look for one of my bigger ships. Actually, where's my fleet at this point? There's my fleet. Look at this. They have little engines. Yeah, this looks ridiculous in fast play.
More than ready.
Whoop. One interesting thing is, this is a ship of the line. Ignore that the steam is doing horrible things to my sails. And the one thing this game doesn't like is, you know, actually combat tactics, where my ships of the line would actually sail in a line. It's quite literally in the name, but no. I was like, you know what is standard?
Moving to coordinates.
Make it a nice little blob. That is your standard tactic. Live with it. Not the most efficient way of maneuvering your ship, especially not in relation to combat, but that is Anno's logic here. Then again, I never really feel that Anno is a much of a combat game in any way, shape or form. It has always had ship combat and stuff, but it really isn't. Honestly, I'd probably rather play a sea battle in Total War Empire. Yes, let's go all the way there and be like, yes, even that would probably be more fun. I mean, I can tell them to follow and they will, but it still looks kinda derpy when I do it. Also, you know, that means I can't control group them, which is also a bit of a pain in the ass. It's not really ideal, but then again, this is really not the heart of the Anno experience. Honestly, building shit up and seeing things grow and basically building the infrastructure and stuff. It had, indeed. You could actually give them a line formation, and that, considering the time and the ships that are available, is actually a, well, pretty damn solid tactic, all things considered. But you know, if you add something like a ship of the line that is quite literally called a ship of the line into your game, then at least make sure that they can actually use, you know, a fucking line formation. Just so not some smartass like me is gonna sit there a year or so later after the game is out and go like, meh, don't like it. Doesn't seem reasonable. Empire. Empire was a nice idea. Still a okay-ish game, yes. Can't really hate it too much. Napoleon was better, but far too small. Which does show that the Empire formula does work. Oh, there's actually fortress here. I didn't even see that.
It was father's greatest regret that he was never able to hold the scepter. I'm sure that insecurity about his position made him cling to power all the more perfervidly.
A very interesting background story there, little queenie, but it doesn't tell me anything about why there is a fucking castle up here. I didn't outright shit on it. It's just not the best or most well thought out thing the Total War series has ever created. Oh, a hi from Germany. Well, then a hi back from Germany too. A little devil. Devil line. Have you taken the little line from Germany? I see what you did there. I see you. Well, at least my hi doesn't need to travel that far then. Germany is, after all, well, the large things in the world. Relatively small, actually. Even if you measure it from north to south. Even less if you measure it from west to east. Kinda because we lost some territory there, but, well, alas, that's kinda how history goes sometimes. Go back far enough and you end up with the Holy Roman Empire. Which is neither holy nor Roman. Not really an empire. That's it indeed. Honestly, that's actually one of the greatest regrets I have when it comes to stuff like the Three Kingdoms. Three Kingdoms is really actually a fun Total War game, all things considered. But sometimes I would just like to have some nice river battles. I would really set the mood a bit better, honestly. But once again, we're back to what ship battles were during the days of Medieval 2. Basically non-existent, apart from a small little window that goes like, yes, ships meet, ships dead, try again. Which is the, yeah, usual end result. You have so many warehouses around you, why is your output full? Don't tell me you actually...
No space left here.
Yes, you said so. There's quite literally a card sitting in front of you. Sometimes, game. Just sometimes, game. You're trying my patience. Yeah, I'm pretty much aware that Rome 1 did not have actual good sea combat. Actually, is the combat... I mean, it's still kind of wonky, even in Rome 2 it's kind of wonky. But it's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be there so you can play around with it and then you can skip it whenever you don't feel like getting involved with that. I was having a thought. Well, it's good that it's in the game files at least. Sadly, what's in the files and what is actually in the game that people are going to play does kind of tend to be somewhat different sometimes, just sometimes. Actually, I should probably make sure that I actually have fire stations somewhere else, like here. I don't really want to lose all of my nice income. No, let's not. Let's not take that particular risk. I can already see myself getting what type? It doesn't sound really much fun to play with then, wouldn't you say? Also, as I say, you know, with games you don't really get a nice participation award just for having it in your game files. Otherwise, I guess every bloody developer between here and the world would put pretty much everything just in there and go like, here, see, we had it all figured out, we just didn't implement it completely yet. That would be one hell of a ride. Do we want to go up to Artisans? I mean, I do have the things set up for them, somewhat. Yes, I can pretty surely produce... Yeah, I should have more than enough iron. But if I would need more, it's actually not far away, so I guess that wouldn't really be a problem, even if we needed more. What else do we need for sewing machines?
Always hard to pick up where you
Wood.
leave off.
Okay, yeah. As long as I'm not doing massive building project where I'm wasting all of my timber.
Leadership.
Yeah, I know my people are not brightest. No reason to, you know, find it out all the time. If I now start to build this all up to workers, that would require a lot more in the world, in just timber, and also a lot more resources, because my workers are
You've got our interests at
greedy. I mean, he kind of doesn't really understand the concept, you know, this little worker guy.
Admiral!
Shut up. Not like I have their interest at heart, mind you. I have their workforce at heart. You too, have a good night, and I will now, for the first time in a while, actually take a look down at my little clock, and oh boy, I have like 4 hours left to sleep. That's great. Yeah.
pamphlets, pickets, healthy honest protest.
For those poor souls who have not heard my tragic tale yet, I was actually supposed to be like,
Don't waste your effort. We're dead already.
I'm not going to pay for that, thank you very much.
Jacket.
Yeah, red jacket, fuck you. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Was actually supposed to be an hour or so later, but then the fucking Ubisoft launcher thingy decided to kill itself by trying to update, which was fun to watch. And then the game didn't want it to start any longer. I mean, you know, no, it started, and you could watch a nice little black screen for a while, and you're like, yes, I see some patterns in the darkness. Until we finally, about the 15th or so try, I got a nice little epileptic seizure warning, which I was like, yes, very appreciative of that. That is nice. But yeah, that has kind of cost me all of my evening entertainment time. And since I do kind of have a full day ahead, you know, a full, nice... But yes, actually, tomorrow has nothing special, so only a whooping 10 hours of actual work time that I need to kind of worm my way through. I do think that 4 hours of sleep would be an appreciative amount from my future self. Just pointing it out. Pretty sure my tomorrow self will be like, yes, I agree, that was a wise decision. So for the moment, much as I hate it actually, I will have to bid you adieu at this particular point. While we enjoy watching the zoo, and the music stage is empty because I couldn't find a band to play. Well, where was I? Oh yeah, as usual, thanks for dropping by. It is appreciated very much. Indeed. It does make my evening quite a bit sweeter. As for people I can easily name, we have a pirate head, who dropped by to complain about roads. A reasonable complaint, I admit. Little Lassie Games, bringing his little Lassie face along. That is, of course, very much appreciated because I like it. It's fun. Whenever I see it, I'm like, very well made. And we got a strategy member. Once again, showing his ability to keep up with my random nonsense in rambling. That is a skill. Honestly, it's a skill indeed. Very good one. And we have the devil. Yes, the devil line indeed. From Germany. Saying hi. Once again, hi to you too. This is not a long distance. It should reach you in about, at the worst 3 days, you know. Postal service and all. But yeah. Well, maybe it's a bit of an... I still don't know if I can actually get the combination right. I can. This is actually a feature I very much find nice. Well, for one thing, my people are looking like, you know, Empire Earth citizens. Like it's the early 2000s again. That's amazing. And first person view in an Anno game. Even just for that, I would say Anno 1800 does deserve a chance. Especially if you haven't, you know, yet played any. I would very much highly recommend this one. Or if you're into the more classical ones, well, go back all the way to 1602 and listen to some classical music while shit happens. Yep, empires look pretty much like this. I mean, the background actually looks fucking high detailed. And you look at your people, it's like, ah, yeah, I see now. Like, yeah, flat face. The mountain in the background. Even the very far mountains have more details than this poor sucker has in his face. I mean, sorry, nothing against you. Where's the button? Yay! See, I can celebrate myself. But yeah. Enough of the fun at the end. See. And anything else I want to say? No, really. Apart from usual, I shall be back, as in tomorrow, and, well, since it says still technically speaking a relatively plannable day tomorrow, there is actually nothing plannable ahead as far as I'm aware. I mean, you know, something could always come up, but as long as that is not the case, I think we will have some more playtime, God bless it. We're gonna play some Pillars, Eternity 2, to be precise. We're gonna, you know, sail around and do horrible things to other ships and, probably also doing some adventuring. I'm still not finished with that big city, so, yes, still lots of stuff to look forward to. And to discover. We only have discovered like half the world map. There's still another half left. Full of, well, bounties to collect and plunder and monsters to slay and islands to name horribly. I do remember some island being named someone's heroine party at this point. Mostly because it was a very drug-induced island. Yes. But yeah. That shall be it then. Well, once again, thanks and see you soon, I suppose? Yes. See you soon as in tomorrow. Sorry, my concentration is slipping.